So when you're sending your designs to a client, does this look familiar to you? Is this something that you send to a client? Or maybe what about this? Maybe you do compile your designs in this way and then you send them to your client with a short message like, please kindly review the designs and let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, this is a bad method, and I myself was doing something similar for multiple years. That is, until I woke up and I realised a far more efficient way of sending designs to a client that vastly increased my chances of my designs being approved. So instead of simply dumping your designs onto your client with no context, we want to tell a story and explain the logic of our reasoning. Now, I personally find Photoshop really good for this task, mainly because most mockups are PSD files, and this PS document is 1920 pixels wide by around 13,000 pixels in length. One handy bonus tip before we look closely at this method is that you can design this file just once, only once, and then use it as a template for all of your clients and their presentations. This will save a whole lot of time to you when you're trying to send your designs to a client. The brief and the client I worked on for this project was heavily based around the tech industry. You will notice how the choices made within my presentation align with that sentiment. The style of sans serif font being modern and futuristic, the colours of blue and black linking back to that colour psychology, everything just makes sense. Making the presentation feel like it's part of the brand and the industry will automatically appeal to your client subconsciously. And here at the start I've given a brief synopsis of the project because this is going onto my portfolio. However, you can outline the main goals for the logo and what you aim to achieve with your design to your client. I've spoken about this method before, but it's important to understand the power of it, and that leads on to the next section after the initial introduction. I like to show my design in a dissected and technical way like you can see here. Now this not only shows the design is flush and professionally made, but it also appears to the client to be a technical piece of work, furthering to boost your capability as a designer in their mind. Remember, this presentation has one main goal. Do you know what that goal is? Of course, the main goal is just to persuade your client that they will buy your design. Before we hit any mockups, I like to dive into the colour scheme of the design of the brand. There are many ways to display the colour scheme, but here's one method I personally quite like a lot. Black is the main colour in the brand's palette, and so it's the largest block in my scheme, followed by grey, then blue, and then equally smallest amounts of white and yellow. I've kept the same font use and size throughout the entire presentation, which is another important factor to keep in mind. And also here it's wise to explain your colour choice. I've linked things back to colour psychology, which again just cements my decisions as being justified. My first markup is very minimal and it does fall in line with the brand's colour scheme, using black and white as part of the colour scheme. This is a box mockup that will hold the drones that my client intends to sell. The logotype and the logo are seen across the design, and I've thought about the brand's sentiment of being minimal and modern, and I've translated the mockup into that brand style, which is another crucial point. As I did with the colour scheme section, here I've explained the reasoning for my choice of typeface for the brand and the logo, and I've backed that up with expert knowledge within this industry. That's just more ammunition that will show the client that I know what I'm doing and my choices do make sense. And below I've carefully chosen relevant imagery that links back to the brand. I've used the same colours that I've chosen throughout this presentation, and I've shown aspects of the typeface in use. This section boosts my envision of the brand's image and it shows the client how the typeface functions in the real world, among other things. My next mockup shows a potential business card design. And think to yourself, how does this mockup tie into my overall presentation considering everything we've already looked at? Well, firstly, it's clean, it's minimal, and like the first box mockup we saw earlier. But also the colours are the same, the charcoal black and the white. The same can also be seen on the next mockup, which presents a brochure or kind of a manual that might come with a drone when a customer purchases it from my client. Now I hope you can see how every decision I've made links back to the brand's image and the style of logo that I created. This method of presenting your designs as a short visual story is hugely powerful. It persuades your client to give your project the green light, and then you just, secure another sale for your design career. And like I said, you can make one or two of these mock-up presentations and then just use them as templates for future projects. It should be obvious how this method is vastly superior in comparison to just dumping multiple designs on your client in an email. But yeah, if you want to learn more about graphic design or how to get more clients, click a video on screen, and until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.